This is Aaron Rice, and we are live in the Virtual Reality Collaboration Lab. I am here with a very, very special guest. Very special guest. Her name is Miss Glenna Cush. And Glenna, why don't you introduce yourself? Let us know kind of where you are, who you are, and what you do.
Hey, Aaron. Thank you so much for having me today. I do appreciate the opportunity. My name, as you said, is Glenna Cush, and I'm the owner of the Boutique by ShimmySista in Columbia, Maryland. And I'm also the founder of She Biz Collective, which is a women's small business collective where we try to help nurture entrepreneurs and women trying to have personal development.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you for joining me. I know you're a very busy person, and I really appreciate you joining me today to do a tour of the Virtual Reality Collaboration Lab, which is actually on the Verbella platform. So we are here in a game engine. It's called Verbella. Verbella stands for Virtual Business Environment for Learning and Assessment. And I have gone ahead and kind of curated this space for ShimmySista. So I'm excited about it, and we're just going to kind of go around and take a tour of a virtual experience. So should be
Well,
fun.
I have to tell you, I'm excited too. I think the technology is fantastic. I've always kind of been a geeky kind of gal, loving tech, loving gadgets, all that kind of stuff. A little
Mm-hmm.
bit of a tomboy as a child. So, I'm that girl that has all these gadgets in the kitchen. I love technology. So I'm excited about touring and, seeing how this program can helpfully impact my business.
Absolutely. So, what would you say? Quick question before we start rolling. What would you say is most inspirational about your story?
I think the most inspirational thing is not just a store. You can go anywhere and buy clothing and things like that. But I think we feel the store is more of a community where women can gather together. I have a lot of times I have people come in and they just want to sort of chit chat. Yeah, you like to sell clothes because that's the bottom line. But at the end of the day, it's really about more than that because even if you have a really cute outfit on, if you're not feeling good about yourself or you're not whole inside, then a cute outfit is really not going to matter. So I think ours is unique because of the holistic approach.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, last Saturday I had a customer come in and she shopped a little bit and we chopped it up and so forth. But she ended up sitting in the chair and just we just chatted. Other customers were coming and going, but um, we just chatted for a couple of hours, as a matter of fact. She was supposed to pick up her daughter. She was supposed to order lunch, and none of those things happened because we were just chopping it up. And I think while someone may say, boy, that's a waste of time, I don't look at it like that because um, if people enjoy the environment, that means they're going to come back, they're going to stay, they're going to feel welcome. And that's really what I want people to feel when they come in there. So they can walk away with something more than just a cute purse or a pair of earrings. They can walk away feeling enriched in some way.
Got it. Got it. Good, good, good. All right. So, why don't we go into this first private volume area up front? Why don't you follow me on in?
Oh,
Now, I've muted this video on my end. Hopefully, it's muted on your end as well. Is it muted or is it playing? Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. I just see a Uberlux screen, but yeah, I don't hear any volume, so no.
Okay. So yeah, I want to be able to talk over the video. So why don't you go ahead and have a seat? Do you remember how to sit down?
Getting there. Yep, I do.
Okay. I'll go ahead and sit right over here. And
Over here, and spinning around in a circle here.
okay. What?
I can hear now. I can hear whatever that is.
Do you know how to mute it? If you can mute the video like you normally would on a YouTube video, just click on the actual mute button on the screen. That should mute it on your end. Is that working?
Where am I? Mm, I'm sorry. Tell me again.
If you click the mute button on the screen, like you would normally mute a YouTube video, you can just click the mute button on the screen. Can you do that, possibly? So it doesn't, so the audio doesn't play on your end. Is that working?
No, it's not working.
Because it's muted on my end. So you still hear it playing, right?
Okay, I'm still. Okay, got it.
You got it. Okay, great. So what's on the screen now is just a video of you of your store. Talk a little bit about kind of where you're located and your hours, how people can get in contact with you, and just kind of the vibe of the store itself.
Okay, sure. We're located in Columbia, Maryland, right off of Route 108 on Red Branch Road. We're kind of in a mixed use kind of a park. There are a lot of different things in our development, from music stores to uh, a chiropractor to an acupuncturist, and tutoring location. So it's kind of a mixed development there. Um, just right off of um, 108 near Route 29. So we're about 15 minutes from Columbia Mall. We've been in business for we just celebrated our 5th year in business. So knock on wood,
Well,
the small business.
congratulations.
Uh, yeah, Small Business Administration says if you can survive 5 years, then you're doing good. Actually, the brick and mortar is sort of the continuation of the business. I started off as a vendor, started off doing different trade shows and things. And I started my business officially. ShimmySista started in 2008. That was when I first launched a website and, was selling online and doing some mostly vending at festivals and dance events and things like that. So it just progressed into space where I wanted to have my own physical location so that
Hmm.
people could have the convenience of shopping wherever they wanted to. So we're 5 years in on that piece of it.
And is there a particular niche that you focus on, or is it kind of a general?
Yeah, no, my niche is women with curves, plus size women. There's unique sizing and fit issues that plus size women have. And I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to create an environment where you could feel comfortable, feel accepted, feel beautiful, and not have somebody look at you strangely because, oh, we don't have anything that will fit you. And, all those things that people go through. So I think I focused more on the feeling that I wanted to create in the store um, a lot in the beginning. I wanted it to feel like someone was just coming into my house. There's a lot
Hmm.
of open space in the store. There's a sofa. There's side chairs.
Hmm.
There's a lot of different things to make you feel like, come in, have a seat, take a comfortable spot and let's chat. Yes, we'll shop too, but let's chat. Let's get to know you and what your feelings are. And,
Kind of
you
like
know,
what we're
we,
doing now.
yeah, kind of. And so we maintain an approach that's very, very specific to the customer. If someone needs a lot of hand holding, then we do that. If you're one of those shoppers who just want to kind of get in the zone and see what you got, and then if I want to ask you something, I will. So we try to be very customized to the customer that's coming in for that particular moment.
And you said you opened the store in what year?
The physical store was is 5 years ago,
5 years
so
ago.
2015.
So did the business grow right away, or were there some challenges to getting started? Or
Well, there's always challenges. One of the things I didn't think about was the overall experience that a person have. And what I mean by that is that we, as I said, doing a lot of vending. So we go to different trade shows, and I'll just back up just a little bit to say that Shimmy Sister started, and the name came from the belly dance community. So I was actually I had started to take belly dance just as another form of fitness and a way to find a way to move in an interesting way. And a friend of mine introduced me to it. I fell in love with it, and it started to give me a lot of body confidence and things like that. So as I started getting more into the community, I realized that here I had found this wonderful thing, but there was nothing for me to wear. So nobody was really accommodating the plus size community. So that's kind of why I started Shimmy Sisters, so that women who felt like they wanted to dance but didn't want to stand out in a negative way or feel uncomfortable because they didn't have the cute clothes that some of the thinner women had, that's why I started the business in that way. But when I turned to doing a brick and mortar, I knew that I couldn't necessarily sustain a whole business just doing dancewear and belly dancewear, as a matter of fact. So I branched off and I started doing more clothing that was, more generalized types of things, casual wear, dresses, accessories, those types of things. So that's kind of how the business evolved over time. Um, so it's been an interesting evolution, an interesting evolution as we have moved forward.
and I'm sure COVID-19 has created some opportunities for you to expand and do things a little bit differently than
Than your normal.
Yeah, it really has forced us to look at things differently. I mean, I had spent so much time building a face-to-face business. The
Hmm.
vending. When I started the business, doing the vending piece, and I decided to open the store, I thought, okay, this would be a real convenient way for people to not have to wait to come to shows to shop with this. They can just, come in anytime they felt like it. But
Hmm.
what was interesting to me was that people were also looking at the experience. So if they attended a festival, the experience was I go to this festival, I shop at ShimmySista, I eat some of my favorite foods, and then I go home.
Mm-hmm.
So the transition was a little harder for me in the beginning. So I had to start really focusing less on existing customers who I thought would transition over, and some of them did. They still were expecting to see me at shows. So I still had to continue to do the shows
Mm-hmm.
because, that's where they were expecting to see me because that was part of the experience. So I had to transition to identifying new customers. When COVID came in, that was challenging because here I was now had been marketing to face customers. So the
Mm-hmm.
website still exists and still did exist, but I had far less people shopping online than I did shopping face to face.
Mm-hmm.
Because as I said, I spent all this time building up a customer base. People, it's the weekend, so I'm going to stop by Shimmy Sister and see what she's got. No, it's the weekend. I'm in the neighborhood. I'm just going to stop by and say hi. So I had built this sense of community face to face, and then here COVID hits, and for 3 full months we were not able to even go in the store and do anything. So I lost a little bit of momentum
Mm-hmm.
with that. So then I had to go from, okay, you're a face to face customer who doesn't particularly like to shop on that line. So now I've got to shift to try to identify either encourage you to go shop online at the website
Mm-hmm.
or try to identify new customers whose preference is shopping online. So people don't really understand that as much because people, oh, well, they can just go online and shop. Well, because of the unique needs of my specific customer base and my niche, it's a little bit more challenging. It's not just a simple matter of doing that because I had identified customers who don't like to do that. They
Mm-hmm.
like to come in and try on and see if it fits, in a way that they like and look at themselves and chit chat and all that. So now you're saying, okay, go back home. And now, so the challenge is trying to recreate that same experience online. And
Sounds like they're looking for a very custom one-on-one, kind of a concierge level of service almost.
they, some of them are, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
concierge service is a good way to put it. They want to have, you know, some people come in and you have the bolder woman who, she'll put something on and come flying out the dressing room and spin around in the mirror. And you have the ones, she's cool. Then you have the other woman who will go in there and it will be deathly silent.
Mm.
And you're like, are you okay in there? And she'll have 15 outfits and you will not see not one of them
Oh.
because she will not come out of the dressing room. So, like I said, it's very unique to each customer, but we try to be accommodating. And, because it really is all about sometimes people coming outside of their comfort zone, even with it as it relates to the types of things that they wear. So
Mm-hmm.
I've got to meet them where they are and hopefully help elevate them. And there's a sign that hangs in my store in the front at the front door, and it says, "And then one day I loved myself, and everything changed. I was free."
Mm.
And that's something that I keep at top of mind as I relate to my customers because I know a lot of them have self-esteem issues and issues of body discomfort and all that, and I really am trying to be mindful about all of those things because I understand what it's like. People don't realize this, and they look at me sideways when I say it, but I really am a shy person. I
Mm-hmm.
really am shy.
Mm-hmm.
But
Not
over the
you.
years, I've pushed. I know. Over the years, I have pushed past that and come to an acceptance through belly dance of the body that I have, loving it the way that it is, and moving through the world the way that I feel like I want to, and not giving a hoot. I don't know if I can cuss, so I'm not going to say the word I want to say. I'll say hoot. Not giving a hoot about what people think. And I think, because of COVID and everything, I had to make some changes. And one of the things that I did end up doing was utilizing different platforms, such as Facebook Live, to reach out to those customers and potentially become exposed to new customers.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, it was a challenge at first because I am shy. So the thought of sitting there and just talking, it's one thing to have a conversation. You're saying something, I'm saying something. Um, but when you're just sitting there talking to a screen
Right.
and trying to interact with the screen, it's a little weird.
Sure.
Um, but I got some encouragement, and I just decided to take the plunge, and it's been working out pretty well. I just did my 17th live
Wow.
Wow.
last night. I do it every Thursday night at 7 p.m. on Facebook.
Okay.
Okay.
So I get to show some things. Some of the things are specific to Facebook Live, some of the things you can see in the store.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a way for me to expose people to who I am, what I have to offer, the store as well,
Mm-hmm.
because I try to incorporate all of those things.
Cool. Well, that sounds very exciting. I'm glad that you're able to navigate and stay creative during this time, this unprecedented time with this pandemic. So definitely appreciate that. Why don't we go ahead and start our tour and hop into some of the team suites that I've customized, so you can
Okay.
talk a little bit about some more information about you and the store. So follow me.
All
All right, so this particular suite is called, and you haven't seen what I've set up for you.
So that
No, I
you're seeing
haven't.
a
I'm
lot of this for the
excited.
first time.
I am. So I'm curious, and
She's
hopefully I won't be cringing.
yeah, Glenna's given me a license to go to her website and her social media and kind of cut and paste stuff. So this ought to be interesting. Um, and we'll keep it up for the next week. So if you have friends or customers that want to come in and check it out, please bring them through. But let's talk about, so this particular suite is dedicated to just kind of the about us, talking a little bit about the ShimmySista story. And I have this image on the exterior of the door, and a lot of these images for people that are watching are hyperlinked. So if someone clicks on the image, and Glenna, you probably can't see it on your end, but if they click on the image, it'll take them to your About Us page on your website. So it's hyperlinked to be able to do that. But talk a little bit about, you said you're a belly dancer. Talk a little bit about this show here. Uh, yeah.
Sure. There was a show the last couple of years. An organization put on a plus size fashion show,
mm-hmm.
and I participated twice. I don't think they've done it. Of course, this year nobody did anything, so
Mm-hmm.
hopefully in the coming years they'll pick that back up again. But it's a plus size fashion show, and I was invited to participate, and I wanted to bring a unique spin to the runway.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people want to show plus size women wearing interesting clothing and things like that, but I wanted my segment of the show to be different in that I wanted to show that plus size women can do anything. So I
Mm-hmm.
invited some of my belly dancer friends to participate in this segment of the show that showcased belly dance clothing. They were moving, they were dancing, and we basically brought down the house. I was excited at the response because I think for the first time, some of the people in the audience were like, wow, look at her. She can really move.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm all about trying to dispel the myth of what a plus size woman or a curvy woman can and cannot do or should and should not do.
Mm-hmm.
And so, belly dancing sometimes has a certain mindset that goes along with it, but I wanted to show that, hey, we can all do it and look fabulous doing it. So
And
it
have
really
and
it
have
really
fun at the
made me
same
proud
time. And have fun at
and
the
have
same
fun at
time.
the same time. Have
That
absolute wonderful time.
that's the one consistent thing that I found with all your content online, even on your website. And what's your website address where people can go and find some of the outfits?
It is ShimmySista.com, www.ShimmySista.com. And you can also find me on Facebook and Instagram, also all social medias.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you
Yeah,
can go there and just at Shimmy Sister is where you can find
that was
find me.
the.
You can see as you can see some of my previous shows from the lives there as well.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one consistent theme. Is it just looks like you and your community and your friends and dancers are just having so much fun. So why don't we head into the About Us suite? Why don't you follow me on in here?
Alrighty.
So I okay, we're come on in.
Okay. You're
Some
follow me right in. You
for some
froze.
I'm trying to follow you, but for some reason my
You froze.
avatar is not moving it. So give me a little
Freeze,
bit there.
ladies, please.
Yeah.
So if you're able to come in, when you're able to come in, you'll need to mute the videos on your end.
There you
Okay, here
go.
we go.
All right. There you go. All right.
Here we go.
So why don't we're gonna look at the video that's on this side of the room that I'm facing. Talk to me a little bit about it looks like it's the Shimmy Sister District of Curbs fashion show in DC. How often do you put on these shows?
Um, this is the same organization that was from the picture, and so
Okay.
this was the second time I participated.
Mm-hmm.
And my segment of the show this particular time, I decided to do curves through history.
Mm.
So we kind of did a some fashions that's related to different periods in time that were kind of updated. So the second model coming down, this is more of a 60s kind of hippie-ish vibe.
Mm-hmm.
That so we picked outfits that would represent in a real cool, funky way
Mm-hmm.
the different eras of time and clothing. So this was kind of a 60s, with the she's wearing a Jimi Hendrix shirt here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like all the outfits kind of give you a modern flair to it,
Mm-hmm.
even though they harken to a different era that kind of still bring a modern flair to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was fun working with the models and fun just showcasing the different things that we have to offer.
Cool. So tell me a little bit about your logo here. And I do the logo is hyperlinked to your website, so you can't see it again on your end, but it's going when I click on it. I'm on your website now, so people can see it, and it's going to your About Us page where they can watch some of the video content that we just showed. But tell me about the history of your logo. How did it come about? What does it represent?
Well, I wanted to represent a woman somewhat in movement, feeling joyous and happy and that kind of thing. But I also wanted to represent the name ShimmySista.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a graphic designer, and we had a really long conversation about it. So if you look at it, it's really kind of a fun to me. It's a fun looking logo,
Mm-hmm.
but it also kind of takes on a curvy shape of a woman, or almost like a little avatar, so to speak. It's not literal to a person. It
Mm-hmm.
kind of has shapeliness to it, but it also is made out of the two S's, which
Mm-hmm.
represent ShimmySista.
Mm-hmm.
So I loved it. When I saw it immediately, I fell in love with it. Went through a couple of iterations, but this was the final version. And I wanted something that was going to be clean and be able to use on other things like shirts and paraphernalia and hats and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a background in graphic design too, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm always thinking about the aesthetics and being able to use things in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So I had your most recent event up on the other screen, but it doesn't seem to want to play for me. So tell me a little bit about what you did in June with your virtual old school event, the anthology, I think is what you called it.
Yeah, sometimes when those gremlins come out, things always work when you don't need them to work, but when you
Right.
need them to work, they want to act crazy, and the gremlins come running through.
Well, let me see if I can search it. Go ahead.
Well, as you're doing that, I'll just talk a little bit about it. So every year, and I was going to go into my seventh year. 2020 would have been my seventh year, and I do a show called Shimmy Sister's Old School Belly Dance Showcase. And basically, what that is I love belly dance and everything about it, and I wanted to expose as many people to it as I could. So I was trying to think of a way to do it in a fun and interesting way so that people could get to experience it in a platform that was more comfortable for them. Because belly dance is uh, a dance form that comes out of, Africa, Middle East, whatever you want to call it, and it's traditional music and that kind of thing. And some people are not that's not their aesthetic, so they might shy away from it because they think, ah. But if it has a great beat, you can belly dance to anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided, you know what, let me do an old school belly dance. I love old school music. And so I produce an old school belly dance show. So it allows people, you have to belly dance, and it has to be an old school song, and it has to be family friendly. Those are my only caveats
Mm-hmm.
for participation.
Mm-hmm.
And so it turned out to be a huge hit, and every single year, everybody wants to participate. Sometimes before the lights go dark on this year's show, they're already asking me, do I have a date for next year's show? So that's how
Mm-hmm.
much fun it is. I sell out every year, and it's a wonderful way to bring their family and their friends. And one of the things that's fun about it is that a lot of the belly dancers, have supportive husbands and spouses, boyfriends, that kind of thing. But after a while, it's like, okay, another belly dance show. I got to come support my wife. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody tells me that they love bringing their husbands, and their husbands actually ask, okay, when's Shimmy Sister show? Because I'm coming to that. Because it's music that they know. And I do it in kind of a club vibe. So we have a dance floor, we have a bar. Guys can get food, so they watch their loved ones performing, but they get to have a good time too because it's music that they know and love. So this year we had some challenges because of COVID,
Mm-hmm.
and I ended up trying to do something different. So we did it as a virtual show.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone submitted their performance, and it was all fused together to create this uh, pay-per-view type of a thing. So it was behind a paywall. People bought tickets, and it turned out extremely well. And I got to be honest, I was a little skeptical about doing it based on everything that was going on, because in order to do something like this, you have to plan well in advance. You can't throw it together, a couple of days before.
Mm-hmm.
But that was at the height of COVID, and I was thinking, is this the wrong thing to do? Am I being disrespectful of what's happening? And I remember that day when I was supposed to hit the button to start the promotions, and I sat there for the longest time, like, I don't know if I should really be doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at the news. Did something crazy happen today? And so I finally just said, okay, let me just do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the response was overwhelming. People were like, oh my God, thank you so much. This gave us an opportunity. Because I feel is that the people who were participating in Love Belly Dance,
Mm-hmm.
they were missing it too. So
Mm-hmm.
this gave them a way to do it in a fun and interesting format. And it turned out really, really well. So I was very pleased with it. The feedback was phenomenal.
Well, I was able to attend the live event last year and absolutely had a ball. And was sorry that I didn't bring my wife with me at that point, but she would have enjoyed it as well. But like I said, what
And that's the kind of environment I wanted to create, almost like a date night. So bring
Yeah,
somebody, have fun,
exactly.
get some food,
Yeah.
and just really enjoy a fun evening. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad you appreciate it. So hopefully next year, um, you can bring your wife along.
Absolutely.
so this is a new video, the Shimmy Sister Shop Online 2020. I hadn't seen. Is this a new video?
I put together these little promotional things periodically,
Okay.
and so this may have been one that you came across um, from earlier. I think it was a promotion that I did to let people know COVID is here, but you can still shop online.
Mm-hmm.
Don't feel like you have to wait.
Mm-hmm.
Still get some really cool things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So why don't we go ahead and leave this space and we'll head into the next suite. Why don't you follow? Are you unfrozen? Or are you still frozen up?
Getting refrozen.
All right.
Something
So
keeps
there you
happening,
go.
but
Okay,
okay.
let's not walk.
Go
Let's.
ahead. I'll follow you.
Okay.
It looks like there we go. Okay, let's not walk through the glass. Okay, good.
It's like I can't use the arrows. I have to just
Use your mouse.
position. Well, I have to position
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
the little shadow.
Okay,
Trying to figure out where you are.
I'm right over here.
Because I got to take the long way around because the arrows
It's
won't
like
allow me to.
I'm over here.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's all
It's like
right.
I said, those gremlins. Sometimes I can walk, sometimes I can't. So
It's
I don't
all
know.
good. It's all good. You
All
made
right,
it.
I'll follow you in.
So we're in the Shimmy Sister photo gallery. So the one thing that I noticed on your website and your social media is you got a lot of cool sayings. Um, Shout out to the woman who fix another woman's crown without telling the world it's crooked. What's up with that? Where was the energy when you were coming up with that, or the inspiration behind that?
Well, the entire bottom line for me is encouragement, support, you know, um, helping people to feel valued and appreciated no matter what, and that you have a right to be here. If you listen to the my interview from the website, there's a story about a woman who discovered belly dance. She didn't have anything to wear, so on and so forth. So I had sent her some
Mm-hmm.
clothing, and the end result that brings me to tears almost every time is that later on she sent me an email thanking me because she had just been divorced when she had sent me the letter, and her child had with autism, and she was feeling really, really low and down, and because I had sent her that box, it gave her new support and encouragement, and she'd taken this class and everybody was telling her how cute she looked, and it really uplifted her.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized a long time ago that that's what women need, to just feel like we live in a society that's just so critical.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's hiding behind social media, and you can be on Instagram and this and that. Somebody got a piece of paper on the bottom of their shoe. Oh my God, they'll talk about you till there's nothing left. And and then just be dogging you out and commenting, and it's easy to do that because nobody's going to see you, but the same person who doesn't have the courage to get in your face and talk about they'll talk about you behind your back. So I want to counter some of that by saying, hey, we're all here trying to support each other. Help your sister out. She got some stuff on her shoe, take it off. Just go behind her, step on that piece of paper, let her keep walking. She don't even have to know.
Right.
But don't, you know what I mean? So that's kind of my whole thing behind it.
Understood. All right, so why don't we walk into the photo gallery here? I'll let you go first if you're unfrozen.
My arrows are working. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For now.
Here, I'll get out of your way. You can
there.
walk on in there. Ladies first. There we go.
All right, so again, you haven't seen what I've curated here. So the wall that's right behind you, is that the image and the quote that you were saying you have in your boutique?
Yeah, yes, that hangs as soon as you walk in the doors to the left, and it will be a permanent part of the store no matter where I am, because that's really the philosophy. And I remember jokingly one day there was a woman in there. I mean, this is a true story, and I'm not going to call any names or whatever, but there was a woman in there, and she had some fit issues or whatever, but we found some wonderful things for her. But every single thing she put on, she found a flaw. Oh, but but I got this, my arm is this, and oh, but I got da 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 da. And, she was she'd, been coming in a while and stuff like that. And again, it's like a sense of community. So people just kind of stop through real quick and take a quick spin and see what we have and say hi, give me a hug and that kind of stuff. But this particular day, she was in there and she just was so down on herself. No, but, look at this lump I have over here. No, look at this thing. I said, let me tell you something. I need you to go over to that picture. You see that picture right there? I need you to stand in front of it, and I need you to memorize it. And I don't want you to come back over here until you have read this several times. So she started like, okay, I get it.
How often do you have to do that? Is that an often occurrence or every once in a
More
while?
often than you think. I don't know.
Wow.
So it's okay, go and stand in front of that.
Right.
Turn to a corner until you behave. But it comes in various forms. I remember once people don't realize that when I'm at the shows, I'm sitting in my tent and I'm people watching. You're sitting in a tent, you're vending. And I know you've done that years ago.
Sure.
So it's a real opportunity to people watch.
That's the best part.
And sometimes, yeah, people will come in and they may have their spouse or boyfriend with them or whatever, and they're looking at different things, and somebody will pick up something and put it up against them, and you can see her shoulders, and she's like, thinking, oh, this would be so cute. This is a cute outfit, yada yada yada. And the person who's with her, she'll turn to that person holding it up, and she'll say, "What do you think?" And I've seen so many times when women will be crushed by that person who's with them, saying, "Why would you want to wear that? That's not going to look cute." Now, mind you, he's wearing a tattered shirt, socks, and slip-ons. Not sure where he feels comfortable giving any fashion advice. I've watched it so many times, and it's just really unfortunate because then they have their own reasons for what they pick for their girlfriend or wife to wear. So they'll pick out something. I'm thinking, what? So, they end up losing confidence. It's just those little things, and I see that all the time. And so sometimes I remember once this woman came in and we picked out a lot of stuff. I stayed beyond the time that the store closed. And she left happy. She said, oh, you have such unique things. And, oh, I like different stuff, and this is so fabulous. I was there for 30 to 45 minutes past when the store was supposed to close. She was having a good time, and the sales were rolling in.
Right.
1 week later, she brought back every single thing.
Really?
Every single thing. Yep. Brought back every single thing. I said, so what? Because she tried on everything. I always encourage people to try on. Even if they don't come out of the dressing room. I want you to try it on. I want you to be happy. If you don't like it, don't take it home with you. I'm not going to force you to get anything that you don't feel like you look good in.
Right.
She came out and she was in the mirror and all those things that normally happen. And you could tell just by someone's body positioning. Like, they feel good. Their shoulders get a little higher. They're looking at different angles. They start to do that little dance because I have some really funky music playing in the store. You know, they start to feel themselves like, okay, hey, hey, okay, girl. You know, and so all that happened. She came back 1 week later. Well, it just didn't. I don't know. It just was just. Mm-mm. It took me several minutes to get to the realization that her husband didn't like any of those things. It was her husband. So she brought it all back. Didn't argue with her, but you know that this was another example of sometimes people can be influenced and not necessarily have the confidence enough in themselves to say, okay, this is what I'm choosing to wear today.
Right.
Because
Right.
I feel good in it. So there is that challenge. And so I think that's why I did want to have a brick and mortar because so many people come in here and say, who knew I was going to get a therapy session, or who knew, or I just love coming in here for the energy, and I love coming here to feel good. And I tell my girls who work there, I don't care what's going on that particular day outside. When they come through those doors, they're supposed to feel loved, appreciated, welcomed, not judged, any of that kind of stuff.
Right.
You know, we even have little sessions in the store about, you know, how to break it to someone that that thing that they've just put on is really not the most flattering, but in a gentle way,
Right.
you know, because you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings and
Right.
that kind of thing. So,
Right. Interesting. So, wow. So, okay, so we're looking at the ShimmySista shirt behind us.
okay,
With
turn
the,
around here.
yep. With the,
Okay, good.
is that a bling, like a bling bling shirt?
Yeah, that's my logo in bling, which I
Mm-hmm.
love.
And how much are those?
Those are $25.
Okay. Okay.
$25, and they come in. You know, that's the other thing about how I pick different things. I mean, people say, "Oh, it's just a T-shirt, it's just a T-shirt," but you know, you don't want to look like a box. So I always try to find things that are flattering, figure flattering. So this is one that's a relaxed cut is what we call it. It gives you shape, and so it's very flattering style wise.
So talk a little bit about your shipping, packaging. Do you just ship to locally to people here in Maryland or all across
Nope,
the?
we'll ship anywhere in the continental United States, and we will ship to some foreign countries. Actually, when I had my business before, and it was just about belly dance clothing, um, became the go-to person in the plus size dance community for dancewear. I was the go-to person, and so the word had started to spread. And after a while, I was sending one of my best customers was in Canada. I had customers in
Oh, wow.
Hawaii, the Great Britain, Australia. I've sent packages to the Caribbean. It was going everywhere. And then, unfortunately for me, I had to figure out what I was going to do next because it's like with anything else. In the day when we were younger, there was only certain places you could shop. You'd have to go to the chubby section of Sears. When you're little, then it translated from that, and then as you got older, you had very very limited choices. So, same thing happened in the plus size community. You had limited choices, but then what happened was other manufacturers started to realize, oh, there's a market out there. So people started to realize, oh, there's a plus size dance market. Let's start flooding the market with cheap stuff. So everybody started coming up with cheap dance wear, and of course, people are price conscious and stuff. And it really really impacted my business because then everybody was making things that they said is plus size, and Amazon and everybody was flooding those markets, and I just couldn't compete in that regard at that time. So that was what helped me make the decision to transition and sell dancewear, but also other things too.
So do you have like when you do your Facebook lives, do you have like flat rate shipping or how does that work?
Yeah, when I do my Facebook Live, it's flat rate shipping, $9 anywhere in the continental United States.
Wow.
So
That's
for Facebook Live, I don't really ship out. It's a $9 shipping charge,
okay.
just to keep it simple,
Mm-hmm.
and just to keep it easy for people to be able to order. And the way that it goes is that I hold up a number, and it corresponds with an item, and then the person can say, okay, I want number one, and you have to say the byword, which is shimmy. So if you like number one, it's number one in shimmy. And I send them out an invoice. They pay on PayPal or Cash App, and I get those boxes out right away. So it has really opened up the market for
Mm-hmm.
me, which has been a great thing. And so I have some, people who are regulars that they support me every week and they come and watch, and then I have residual viewers um, who watch. If they miss it on Thursday night, they can catch it anytime.
Well, every once in a while, you have stuff for men, which I'm always happy to see. I've purchased a couple of things for myself and my son, and fought a couple of other brothers online trying to get there first to get it. Because everything's so unique, and I bought some items for my wife as well, which she totally loved. She loved the Ankh earrings, by the way. So
Oh, good. And the floor mat, I think you.
yeah, and the floor mat. Yep. So she was rocking them yesterday for our anniversary. So she
Awesome.
made sure she had her hair back so I could see him. So
Oh, very
So
nice.
yeah,
That's
so it's
awesome.
very
Yeah,
nice.
that's a favorite pair. Silver
Yeah.
is always a nice addition to any collection of jewelry. And in the coming months, since you mentioned the men's, I'm going to be doing some holiday type shows. Christmas is coming, holidays are coming, so I'm going to be doing some gift oriented shows.
Oh,
So
awesome.
then I'll definitely try to include more men's items. This past week, I had some natural stone men's bracelets, like
Mm.
onyx and that kind of
Mm.
stuff. Yeah.
well, and so if I go back and watch the recording and see something I like, is it too late for me to order or?
Absolutely not. That's what I tell people
Okay.
during the show. I say if you're watching this in what I call the after show,
Mm-hmm.
don't be shy. Just send me an instant message saying, "Hey, do you still have item number 15 from
Mm-hmm.
show 16?"
Mm-hmm.
And if I have it, no problem. I'll send out the invoice. As a matter of fact, that's what somebody did last night. They purchased from last night's show,
Mm.
but they missed the week before. So they said, okay, in addition to what I purchased last night, can you also send me this other item from last week?
Mm-hmm.
So it works out perfectly fine. We have it. I'm more than happy to do it.
And
And
you
one,
could
one
just
thing I do
yeah.
enjoy is the ability to incorporate local artisans
Mm-hmm.
in what I do. So there's a couple people who I get their gemstone products. I get jewelry
Mm-hmm.
from local designers so that they can get an opportunity to have some exposure as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so people can just go straight to Facebook, type in Shimmy Sister, and
Yep.
Find
Go to Facebook,
find all
type
your
in Shimmy
shows.
Sister.
Okay.
And actually, if you go to the left, there's a column on the left that has the about and home and
Mm-hmm.
events and all that on the left hand side.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a live button. So
Oh,
if you click on that, it will show all of my lives. So you don't have to scroll through the whole feed. Just go to that link, click on
understood.
live, and all of the live shows that I've done will be lined up together.
Nice, nice.
hmm So
All right.
that's a convenience.
cool. So why don't we leave this room and continue with our tour? Are you unfrozen? Can you move?
Sometimes, okay. I got
See.
to do it in spurts apparently because I can't just. So I have to position myself. Oh, okay, I'm here.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, cool. Why don't we hop into this little private area here and see what we got going on in here? Oh, cool. So this is actually the boutique, the Shimmy Sister boutique.
Yes, this is the boutique from summer. We're getting ready to transition over to fall. So this is the end of summer. And as a matter of fact, right now we're having a summer clearance.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's one of the things that was a challenge from COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because by now I would have done at least 5 or 6 festivals.
Mm.
I do wine festivals and cultural festivals and those types of things. And the flow would have been incredible. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's been a little bit interesting, but that's okay. We keep moving on. We keep making it do what it do. So this has really been an asset to me having people have the opportunity to actually experience the store. They can walk around. They can see it from different angles. There are little tags, those pink
Yeah. What are
bubbles
those?
that you
What are those
see.
little pink
Those
bubbles?
are
What do they do?
those are called matter tags.
Mm-hmm.
And so what you can do is, say you like that shirt that has the pink hat sitting on top of it. If you click on that pink button, it'll actually open it up on my shopping site, and you can see what other Colors are available. You can drop it into the cart and you can shop. As a matter of fact, a cute story was that I posted it. People were looking at it, navigating around and sort of getting familiar with the shop. Yes, exactly. So if you click on the dress, it takes you right to the dress, and you can
Mm-hmm.
go and see other um, options and pricing and drop it in the box. So anyway, somebody was walking around the store, and they sent me a message. They said, "There's a so and so colored necklace sitting up on the shelf next to the purse. It didn't have a tag on it. What's
Mm-hmm.
that?" So
Mm-hmm.
they were really getting an intimate look at the store and really, which meant that's what made me know it was working because for them to have seen that,
Mm-hmm.
it's up on the shelf next to the red purse between.
Mm-hmm.
So he gave me this detailed description, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's the necklace you're looking at," and I was able to, get it to them. So
Awesome, awesome. So it's another way, like I guess we call these like digital twins to kind of digitize your business and for people to be able to still engage with your business without, at the same time practicing safe social distancing, right? They can order it. There's a direct to cart functionality within here. And
exactly,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, we try to provide a number of different ways to make it convenient for people to shop. One of which is this way.
Mm-hmm.
The digital twin has really been a nice asset, having people to be able to look at stuff and explore the store. Another way is that we do private shopping appointments. You can go on to ShimmySista.com and make a private appointment. So it'll just be you and a sales associate in the store
Mm-hmm.
to make it convenient and safe.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of social distance guidelines that we're operating under right now, as well as cleanliness procedures. So if a person tries on something, it doesn't go back on the floor. It goes back of the store, and we actually steam everything at the end of the day. So everything is
Oh wow.
heated,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
before it hits the floor, and then we even leave it overnight so it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't go back on the floor till the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
So we really, want to make sure, and we have a no-touch register system. I don't touch your credit card. We don't touch your credit card. You put it in yourself. You pull it out yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so you finalize your transaction without any contact, physical contact. So it's we've tried to really incorporate some things, but yeah, the digital twin has really been beneficial
Mm-hmm.
in a way of exposing people. And what I think people need to recognize as well is that there's sales and then there's marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes one can lead to another, but not always. You want us to have exposure as a small business, people to be familiar with you. Um, and in the marketing and branding community, there's a caveat, which is that the human mind has to see something. I think it's like 22. The number keeps increasing before it actually registered. So
Mm-hmm.
before that person takes an action to do something, either to click or to buy or to do something else, they have to see it that many times. So this has allowed people to go back in and they look again and they see it again and they share it with someone else. And so it's still that eyeball contact
Mm-hmm.
that people are able to engage. And I've had people who come into the store because again, I have people who don't like really online shopping,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll come into the store. They'll have stuff memorized. I had a lady come in last week. She had watched the live show.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "Yeah, I want to see the one bag that you had. Where is that? And I think it's 50 some dollars." So she
Mm-hmm.
had all her details, but she wanted to come in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, you're, I'm a big proponent of, the path of least resistance, right? So you're making it really easy for people to, I mean, as much as the people that want to come in and shop physically, they can do that. But for the people that, I mean, you've created a better than like Amazon experience where, people can actually navigate I mean, this is all mobile optimized as well. So somebody can do this on a mobile device and actually tour the store, shop, order. You can ship, and they'll have their item in no time. So I think I congratulate you on just being, an early innovator, early adopter to technology to be able to, be open-minded to incorporating this type of technology into your overall delivery system.
Yeah, I think that's really important, especially in these days because people say, when we go back to normal, when we go back to, there may not be any going back to.
Right.
Got to be what's happening from this point on. And that
Mm-hmm.
format may completely be different than what you thought it was. So I have to come to that realization as well. Because once we open back up, yes, there'll be those people that will be comfortable coming back in, but some of those people who used to be comfortable may not be comfortable anymore. And some of the people who have never seen me before may want a different option. So I have to be mindful of what's out there and utilize technology to, like you said, make it easier for the customer.
And this is great for a customer in Chicago who probably physically was not gonna be coming into the store just based on distance. Maybe if they were in the area, they might. But I mean, for somebody that's out of state or overseas, it fits for them as well. I mean, could you imagine back in 1904, somebody bought 1,500 horses, not realizing that the car was rolling off the assembly line? I mean, like, I can't wait to get back to the horse, right? I mean, that's kind of the way it feels sometimes.
Some old footage of like the cowboy era when the cars first came out, and those people who still felt like, yeah, that's even those little cars that they created, although they didn't go fast. These days, cars can top out at 100 miles an hour, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, the cars didn't go that fast, but they still went faster than that horse.
Right.
Right.
And so I've
Right.
seen little videos where, okay, we're going to race, and my horse is going to pass you by. Okay, and even in the videos that I saw where the horse started out faster, that horse is going to get tired quicker than the car.
That's right.
So
That's right.
slow and steady.
Mm-hmm.
And so even if the horse may have been out the gate faster than that little Model T, because of the distance, the Model T won.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to think about that in terms of today's experience.
Absolutely.
All right, so why don't we finish up our tour? And why don't we head into the Shimmy shopping network? Because I think that's what you were talking about in regards to the Facebook Live. So why don't we step in there real quick?
Okay.
Ladies first.
Right.
All righty. My arrows are working.
There you go.
So keep calm and remember you're hella cute. I like that.
Yeah, that's just another one of those things where, just a gentle reminder every day. Today is going to be a different day. You're not going to feel always as good, but hey, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is from last night.
Okay, so tell me, you're holding up a 020. What does that mean? And I think you talked a little bit about earlier, but can you explain a little bit more about kind of how that works?
Sure, sure. The way the show works is that each item has a corresponding number.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're watching during the show or you're watching post show, you can see this particular bracelet is item number 20. So if that's an item that you want, you simply put that number, because you don't even have to remember what it is. Just say number 20 and shimmy.
Mm-hmm.
And we use a what I call is a byword, because a lot of times there's some chatter in the comments, and somebody might say, oh, 20 is cute, oh, 20 this, that, and the other, but if I need to know for sure that that's what you want. So if you say 20 and shimmy, that lets me know, okay, you're serious about purchasing, and that's how I create the receipts and the invoices that go out to people. So this corresponds. And I'm trying to make things easier for people to see. Sometimes if you're just holding up an item and trying to show it in the camera, it's not as clear. I know a lot of people are using mobile devices to watch me.
Mm-hmm.
So I've incorporated a different platform that allows me to have split screens. So I have two cameras going, so I can hold it up, I can talk about it, I can show a little bit more detail in a clearer way so people can see it. So,
Wow.
and this
So
is actually, as a matter of fact, one of the items from a local designer. She works in silver and bronze and copper, and so that's a silver bracelet from her collection.
So how big is your crew to help you with the live stream and the cameras and the monitoring everything? Do you have a sizable crew that helps you out, or?
Let me see. One.
It's just you? You do all this on your own?
I do. I do all the setup, and I have somebody help
oh my
break down. One
gosh.
of my staff members helps break down, but it's a heavy lift.
I wish I
So
had a behind the scenes picture. I'd put it up so people could see all the behind the scenes hurricane that goes on.
I'll have to share one with you. It is like a tornado, and so one of my, one of my friends, which is, I'm happy that it looks this way because I'll there's always something, those gremlins always show their ugly heads at some point along the way.
And
There's always
just
something.
for people that are watching that don't understand, when we keep saying gremlins, it's the live stream gremlins. Like everything, you can test everything like 50 times before you go live, but as soon as you hit that go live button, the gremlins just
Yep,
start getting into the technology and start messing things up.
yep,
So that's what she means by
yep,
those gremlins. Yeah.
yep. I had tested the camera earlier in the day. 8 minutes before I was going to start, the camera was acting crazy. So I was like,
Mm.
really? You've been fine all day long. Now all of a sudden it's a problem. So I had to unplug and replug and do all those things. But yeah, so it's just a party of one right now doing all of this. And it's interesting
Wow.
because I do broadcast from the store, so it's not like I can leave things up
Right.
and just have them ready to go. I have to put everything back together because the store opens up on Friday. So
Hmm.
everything has to be put back and all of those types of things. But
So then, what's this? What's this behind us on this side? Is this? This looks like another one of your shows.
yes, that's
Uh,
last week's show.
okay.
And you go religiously every week, huh?
Every week, I think I've been giving it some thought as far as moving forward because I know the store being open now, and in my county, they have lowered the restrictions as far as movement and the number of people you can have in the store and that kind of thing.
Hmm.
So I may go every other because right now I'm doing every week, so I may
Hmm.
go every other week
Hmm.
in the coming month or so,
Hmm.
just to kind of give people who want to actually because in order for me to do all this, I've got to shut down the store a little bit earlier on Thursday so we can get everything set up,
Hmm.
which will impact the shopping experience for someone. So um, I don't want to restrict anybody who may want to come in and shop live.
Hmm.
So I may go up to every other week.
So for those you can't see it right now, but if you click on, and I just clicked on your Shimmy Sister logo, when you click on that link, it actually takes them to last night's show. So that's hyperlinked in here as well. All right, so
You've done some amazing work in here. I'm just
Oh,
very
well, thank
pleased
you.
with
Thank you.
everything I'm seeing.
I mean, you deserve it. You work really hard. You have your full time work that you do, and then you've got Shimmy Sister as well, and you have to be kind of a little bit of a geek to be able to learn all this technology in such a short time frame to be able to run this Facebook Live and just even being comfortable in front of a camera, which most people aren't.
Yeah, that took a minute. But I'll tell you a funny story. So talking about the different gremlins, so there's these new lights that I have
Hmm.
because you're always trying to take it to the next level. You want to upgrade it. So at first I was just, my very first show. If you go back and look at that, it was a complete. Well, I won't say it was a disaster. It was what it was. It was growth from every experience. Or my numbers didn't arrive, or I had to quickly go on the internet, find some numbers, but then you could see through them. I didn't understand that when you hold up a number, you have to hold it up the opposite way because when you see it, it was
Hmm.
just crazy.
Hmm.
So I progressed from there. So each week, each time I try to let's take it to another level. So I started doing the opening and the countdown and all those things and the two cameras and all that stuff.
Hmm.
So now I'm working on my having a better camera and something and the lighting because
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
always been a challenge. So I had these great lights and all these. Last week I was going to use them. Something happened. Didn't have enough time. This week, no, last week the problem was that I hadn't downloaded the app that went along with the lights.
Hmm.
This week I downloaded the app, but then something happened. Something happened with the camera. So I didn't have a chance to actually open the app and
Those doggone,
calibrate.
those damn
So
gremlins.
maybe those gremlins. So hopefully by next week I'll have that piece of it worked out and I'll be able to
Hmm.
incorporate this new lighting that I'm excited about.
Cool. Always pushing the envelope. Always pushing the envelope.
All right, why don't we head on out and boy, we've got so much to see. We've covered so much, but we've run out of time. We've run out of time. So I want to let you get back to work, but please know that this whole suite has been dedicated to Shimmy Sister. We did the Art of Poncho last week, so I've got a section over there for Larry Poncho Brown, and so each week we want to leave a little bit from our last guest. So I'll be sure to to leave a couple of rooms for ShimmySista when we do our next show. But why don't we end the show in the large conference room? Why don't you
follow me over here?
Okay. Okay.
There you go. Oh, you're doing a little moonwalk there in the doorway.
Made it.
All right.
It's together.
So as we close out, I want to spend a little bit of time again. I dug deep and far and found some photos of you, and just every time I see you and people in the store, either in the store or out of the store, it's always a big smile. Looks like everybody's having a lot of fun. Why don't you talk to me about you have a picture there of the late Elijah Cummings. Very nice photo. Can you talk a little bit about that? Do you remember when that was?
That's actually a very fond memory. We in my other job, so I do have a full-time job, as you mentioned. We actually work with small businesses, helping them get their dreams going. And so we had collaborated with his office to do a small business related event where they talked about some of the challenges that businesses in the community were facing. And he always had a place in his heart for small and minority businesses, and doing everything that he could to help support them and give them the tools that they need to be successful. So this picture was taken at that event. And it's just a fond memory because he was just such a wonderful person. His staff was wonderful, and he was always willing to, step up to the plate as it related to providing that assistance and that support. So that's a fond memory of mine, having met with him and worked with him.
Absolutely. A true icon in our community who will be sorely missed.
All right, so why don't we kind of go around the room here? Let's go to the next photo. Looks like you're in the boutique with a couple of looks like you had a show, a conference, a class. What were you guys doing?
Actually, this is part of, as I mentioned before, I'm the founder of ShiBiz Collective, and I founded it as a meetup group.
Mm-hmm.
So, and unfortunately, when COVID hit and everything just started tumbling, and I had to figure out what to do with the store and all those kinds of things, it was suspended a little bit. But this was one of the events that we had last year. I think it was around November.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I see my store as a haven, as a place for women to gather, to get ideas. And so I launched the ShiBiz Collective as a way for aspiring women entrepreneurs to get support from others, get information and resources. I also teach classes on how to start a business. I also consult with women who are interested in starting their business, growing their businesses. So that's an event that we had where women came together to network, hear about different resources. I had people will be surprised to know the amount of things we got to do in the store. We had vendors set up.
Wow.
We do a small business Saturday event where I invite 4 other small businesses in. We reconfigure the store. Women come in and they can shop from all these different vendors. And it's just a really great opportunity for people to get some exposure as a business, but also for people to be exposed to other businesses that don't have a brick and mortar just yet, and they're just out there trying to grow.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. A real community. All right, so let's what's happening with this other photo right in front of us here.
Okay, yeah, this was one of the ShiBiz Collective events. So I bring guest speakers in, either an entrepreneur to talk about her story and how she got started and what her challenges were, or someone with some kind of expertise. So we've held classes like, how do you get over the fear of getting started? How do you meet some of the challenges that exist as an entrepreneur? What was your idea? How did you do it? Those types of things. So this was from one of those events where we had a woman, she's an artist, and it was talking about, and she didn't become an artist till later in life. She also talked about the challenges of shifting careers, and doing something different. So.
And then was this belly dance happy hour? You do happy hours as well?
Yeah, in the shop. Like I said, we transformed that thing. People walk in there like, what? Where's all the clothes? Push everything to the back. And again, another way for women to be exposed to something different, we do goddess, we call them belly dance happy hours. So you
Hmm.
get a chance to come and experience belly dance. We have hip scarves and things that you wear, and we have a little choreography, and it's not a little nice fitness. And we
Hmm.
do it that way because sometimes people are fearful of going to some big class and this and that. It's a very small group, just a
Hmm.
few women enjoying themselves and letting loose and feeling comfortable.
And here's a nice, colorful image of some dancers. It looks like all of your events are very well attended as well.
They're very well attended. This was actually a picture from something called Hot Hula.
Hot hula.
There's a hot hula, which is a funky take on hula dancing.
Mm.
So I had a fitness instructor. Her name is Nefertiti. Look her up on Instagram. She teaches some amazing classes, and she started teaching hot hula. And the class got to be so big that she ended up having to rent a larger space, which was wonderful. Really, what you want to help people grow to the point where they can do their own thing. So
Hmm.
she started renting a larger space to teach her hot hula classes. Um,
And then
this
looks
was
like
a regular.
you guys do some henna painting as well.
Yep, this was at one of the events that I had. Like I said, I bring in different vendors to do a variety of different things and expose people. People spend a lot of time on social media, so they're looking at pictures and oh, look at what so and so's doing. Oh, look at this, look at that. Come out and try something. Don't just look at somebody else doing it.
Hmm.
Life is to be lived. There are experiences out there to have. Live your life. Don't just watch somebody else live it on TV. So that's
Right.
kind of
Right.
my philosophy.
So, one more time, give people a way to contact you, phone numbers, emails, websites, social.
You can easily access ShimmySista on the internet at ShimmySista.com, ShimmySista.com, or on Instagram, Facebook at ShimmySista. And we love you can join our mailing list. We send out regular lists of things. We have some special things coming up for our live program, which is every Thursday night at 7 p.m. We are located at 9192 Red Branch Road, Suite 150 in beautiful Columbia, Maryland. And if you like a private shopping appointment, you can shop Monday through Wednesday. Just go online and make an appointment. Or you can come into the shop Thursday through Saturday from 11 to 7 p.m.
Awesome. All right. So, do you remember how to dance? You want to do a little dance? We'll dance our way out of here.
Let me see. Let me see. Okay. I'm ready.
Okay, you ready? We both chose the same one. How about
Let's
that?
do it. And we
How
picked
about
the same
that?
dance.
Exactly.
That's
That's
very
funny.
cool.
All right, Glenna, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to meet with me, and had a lot of
It
fun
was a
today.
pleasure.
So,
Yes, it was a pleasure, and thank you. Hopefully, I didn't monopolize too much of the conversation, and I gave some helpful information. So I
no,
thank
you're
you very
good.
much for the opportunity.
Absolutely. All right. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good day. Have a good weekend.
Okay, you too. Bye bye.
All right.